Hello and welcome to Current News with me, Tom Smith. The top stories this week. University of Southampton staff strike again. Researchers and caterers alike stand together as SUSU elect to support the action. Hartley Library refurbishments. Weeks of work over the summer, but has it been worth it? And NEC nominations. Light-hearted fun or a dangerous game spiralling out of control? Staff at the University of Southampton have undertaken yet more coordinated action over the proposed 1% pay rise after a total 13% pay cut since 2009. Lecturing, research, catering and security staff all united on the 6th and 10th of February in an effort to raise awareness for the damage the pay cuts will cause, as well as how insufficient the proposed pay rise is. Kirsty Pullman has this report.
As you may be aware, over the past few months, staff at the University of Southampton and across the country have been going on coordinated strikes in dispute over their pay. Staff at the university previously walked out on the 31st of October over the proposed 1% pay rise when their pay had already dropped by 13% since 2009. At this time, the Students' Union voted to support the staff in their planned action. The staff elected to strike again after frustration at the lack of results this strike had. They were also disappointed when the university opted not to put the docked pay from the strike into the Student Hardship Fund, unlike other UK universities. This time, however, there were two strikes that took place on the 23rd and 28th of January during the examination period. At this point, many staff were said to be disruptive, with much of the action taking place outside Hartley Library while students were attempting to study for their exams. Vuvuzelas were used and some staff even booed students as they were going about their daily business. In a statement to the Wessex Scene, SUSU President David Golani said that SUSU believes that this industrial action will severely affect the student experience, therefore we cannot support it. Staff planned a third bout of action for this week, with strikes happening on the 6th and 10th of February. When it was proposed at Student Union Council, a majority voted to support the staff on strike, on the basis that students will be supportive of the staff, however not when this causes disruption during the important examination period. This has been Kirsty Pullman reporting for Current News. Back to you in the studio.
And that was Kirsty Pullman reporting on the strike action. Over the summer, the Hartley Library was extensively refurbished in an effort to increase functionality and capacity. Whereas the majority of the work took place in the entrance of the library, other aspects of the building were modified. Sally Jensen went along to see how the refurbishments have benefited students the campus over.
In an effort to revamp the efficiency of the university's academic facilities, Hartley Library underwent a costly refurbishment over the summer of 2013. The venture, estimated at £500,000, saw the overhaul of the entrance and the reintegration of the main desk with the loans desk as a result of the popularity of the self-service machines over the past decade. The new space created by this merging has been dedicated to the expansion of the holds, and 78 more desks were added to the course collection area to alleviate the infamous workspace shortages during exam time. The latte seating area has also been extended with both soft and hard seating, and in January the library launched a survey about extending its opening hours. However, how effective has this academic facelift been, and are the students reaping the benefits? I went to ask them what they thought. So what do you think of the library at the moment?
It's actually pretty good. Like last year we had the front area, it was pretty congested.
At the moment it's okay. The changes have been good, but I think there should be more power plugs, and I think it should run a lot later, especially during exam times.
Well, it's great because you can go there and just get the work done, and especially on level 4 and level 5 there's a nice quiet atmosphere.
The main problem for me, like a person who is spends most time in the library, the thing is it doesn't work 24 hours.
It's good. It's quite often overcrowded, but it's much better actually, I think, than it was before.
I then asked Deputy Librarian Richard Wake what his thoughts were. What are the benefits of the new library refurbishment?
Well, the main aim of the refurbishment was to have more seats for students, and particularly study spaces. And we have nearly 80 extra study spaces in the entrance hall, plus a few more extra ones elsewhere in the library. So that was what we set out to do, to have more seats, and more seats with power for laptops and so on. And that's what we've been able to achieve.
Lastly, VP Education David Mendoza-Wolfson had this to say. the recent survey in January about extending the library's opening hours. Is there any further news on that?
There is actually. I'm incredibly excited. I just came from a meeting with Jane Savage, who's the head librarian at the library, and basically what we've said is that we're confident that a pilot for a 24-hour library will be going ahead for the summer exam period this year.
Of course, that's really great news.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Sally Jensen with your current update. Back to you in the studio.
And that was Sally Jensen reporting on the refurbishment of the Hartley Library and breaking the news that it may go 24 hours a day. As many of you are probably aware, the drinking game known as Neck Nomination has spread internationally over the past few weeks, with contestants drinking increasingly potent amounts of alcohol in an effort to outdo their predecessors. The act is becoming increasingly dangerous. Leo Gavain went along to investigate.
Harmless entertaining challenges, or potentially a dangerous epidemic. Since its emergence, Neck Nomination has certainly divided opinion. Originating supposedly in Australia, this chain-based craze has hit the UK shores and spread through the country rapidly. Universities have been reached, with a dangerous drinking challenge also hitting Southampton. Drinking culture is popular among Southampton students, with many choosing to spend their time in the 2 drinking establishments on campus. This civilised drinking is in stark contrast to the binging aspect the Neck Nomination seemingly promotes.
The premise of the Neck Nomination is simple. Contestants are required to down their drink and then further nominate 2 friends to continue the chain. Pints become increasingly unpalatable and there is emphasis put on pressure to outdo the previous contestant.
People have become increasingly creative with their beverages' ingredients, ranging from edible additions such as raw eggs to inedible components such as baking soda, cough medicine, and in some cases crude oil. The complexity of their drinks is increasing with each nomination.
Despite criticism, it seems that the Neck Nomination craze is here to stay. However, some people have changed the nature of this drinking game to carry out a random act of kindness. This harnesses the nomination aspect to do good. Thank you.
Besides the entertainment factor, there is a serious side to this. There have been a reported 3 confirmed deaths in the UK from people attempting consumption of a dangerous amount of alcohol.
So long as people continue the Neck Nomination trend, there isn't much that can be done about it. Let's just hope there aren't any further tragedies. I'm Leo Gavain, reporting for Current News. Back to the studio.
Leo Gavain there reporting on the Neck Nomination craze. And finally, some of you may have noticed that Southampton has been subjected to an unorthodox amount of storms over the past few weeks. With heavy rains and powerful gales battering the city, Kirsty Pullman went to find out just what is happening to our weather.
Unless you've been living under a rock recently, you may have noticed that there's something funny going on with the weather. At the moment it's brilliantly sunny, but we've been experiencing things that are almost akin to something we'd expect from April at the moment. Large areas of the UK have experienced flash flooding, with most of the southwest being pretty much underwater. As you can see behind me, we are quite waterlogged here, although Southampton has escaped so far relatively unscathed. So what on earth is going on with our weather at the moment? In January, parts of southern England received more than 200% of the average rainfall for the month. But why? Basically, a sequence of low-pressure weather systems have been coming across the Atlantic, with the UK set directly in their path. As you can probably see behind me, we've also been experiencing some incredible winds, with at some times them reaching hurricane speeds. This has caused lots of damage in and around the Southampton area and indeed the south coast. The Met Office has said that while no storm can be regarded as exceptional, the persistence of the storms is highly unusual. This comes after they issued red warnings for the northwest of England and Wales, meaning there is a risk to life with widespread damage expected. Power to thousands of homes here in the south has been cut off and transport majorly disrupted by hurricane-force winds. This has been your Flash Weather Report with me, Kirsty Pullman.
And that was Kirsty Pullman with the weather. That's all we've got time for today, I'm afraid. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.